another one. Sean, I was looking for you. How are you? Find yourself? Everything well? Thank you for last week. So we don't have to have a meeting here.
Who is there right now?
It comes with challenges that in Ghana we call the challenges of Gyamfi. And as I stated, when you have become a minister for lands and natural resources, as I did 4 months ago, and my first briefing was from the Forestry Commission. And they came to tell me something that shook me, that out of the 288 forest reserves that we have in Ghana, 44 have been completely destroyed. I mean, destroyed, and then I asked, how has it been destroyed? Because 5,500 hectares of that forest that has been around for over 200 years has just been condemned. And just imagine 5,500 hectares, that is 7,500 football fields. That is completely gone, that has degraded, that has to be reclaimed. What is worse is that because our major river bodies take their sources from these forests, almost 80% of our major waters take their source from these rivers. We also have pollution of our water, our main water bodies. And to the extent that the turbidity levels of these water bodies, which has to be 0 to 500, are now between 5,000 and 12,000 NTU, making it impossible for the Ghana Water Company to even treat our water. So when you hear the shutdown of the Takwa plant, that is the result of that. It gets even worse. 9 out of this forest reserve has completely been taken over by armed gangs. That's a no-go area that the forest guards cannot even enter. And those were the challenges that we faced head on. It was even worse when we were briefed that geological investigation that should be able to help identify mineralized areas was not happening because the Ghana Geological Authority had no capacity to do so. It had even extended the challenge and the sophistication of this challenge we dealt with. From 2022 to 2024, out of 845 arrests we made, we couldn't even prosecute. Only 35 were able to prosecute. That's about 4%. And that is really the challenge we had to deal with. And then we ask, how did we get here? And I think we are asking this question not because we are interested in finger pointing, but we are asking this question so we can get to the root causes of this challenge and address this fundamental challenge that is basically coming to destroy us. I've not even talked about the health implications of all the things I've talked about. Well, what is at stake is the span of this beautiful land we call Ghana. The man who is determined to turn our water bodies blue and our rivers, our water bodies blue and our forests green again. His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama.
His Royal Majesty Osei Tutu, the second king of the Asante Kingdom, His Excellency the former President of the Republic of Ghana, John Otumfou, His Excellency Mene, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the Honorable Emmanuel Ama Ofibwa, let me thank you for the brilliant presentation you just gave us. Ministers of State present here, our international partners who have traveled from far to join us at this summit, chief executives and champions of the mining industry, our members of the diplomatic corps, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's my singular honor to welcome you all to Ghana and to this landmark gathering, the Mining in Motion Summit 2025. We're gathered here today not merely to talk about minerals, but to reimagine the future of mining in Africa. And so permit me first to express my heartfelt gratitude to Otumfou Osei Tutu II for his inspiring vision and leadership in convening this summit. Madam, thank you very much. Your unwavering commitment to Ghana's development and environmental sustainability is admirable. Let me also thank Ohiniba Bekudia and the Ashanti Green Initiative team for delivering on this vision, and also the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for its strategic collaboration. Africa is rich in gold, bauxite, lithium, manganese, cobalt, and other rare earth minerals. Our continent is said to hold about 91% of global platinum reserves. We hold about 79% of phosphate rock. Over half of the cobalt and manganese in the world is found in Africa. Vast untapped deposits of lithium and graphite. And yet we remain among the poorest continents globally. Ghana, as the leading gold producer in Africa, reflects both the opportunities and the contradictions in this sector. Mining contributes substantially to our GDP, to our foreign exchange and employment. But I must say, it has not transformed the lives of our citizens as it should. And so we must ask ourselves the hard question: why does the wealth beneath our feet not translate into prosperity above ground? A major reason is our extractive structure. We export raw materials, raw minerals, and we import finished product. But the real value, which is jobs, technology, and revenue, is captured elsewhere. My administration is committed to moving beyond extraction to transformation. And this means that we'll be investing in the downstream industry of the mineral value chain, refining our goods and developing our jewelry industry, processing our bauxite into alumina and aluminum, converting lithium into battery components for export, and using iron ore to feed the steel industry. We must integrate mining into the broader economic framework, linking it to our manufacturing, energy, logistics, and research. That is how we build resilient and diversified economies. In the past, huge concessions were carved out for foreign mining interests. State mining assets were sold to foreign companies because we lacked the capital, the technology, and the human resources to fully exploit the natural resources that nature so bountifully blessed us with. But that situation has changed now. It is possible to raise capital. Technology is available. And Ghana has a huge human resource with expertise in every aspect of the extractive industry. We therefore believe that there should be increased participation and investments from Ghanaians in exploiting our mineral wealth. We welcome foreign investors to partner with us in our extractive industry. We want a partnership of mutual benefit. And we commend the relationship we currently enjoy with our partners such as Goldfields, Anglo Gold, Cardinal Nandini, Newmont, and all the others. We'll soon codify our thoughts concerning increased Ghanaian participation using vehicles like our stock exchange and other instruments to increase participation of the Ghanaian private sector in our natural resource exploitation. As the world becomes more transactional in relations between countries, it becomes even more critical for us to use our natural resource endowment to create prosperity for our people. Another pillar of reform is inclusive mining. Over 1 million people in Ghana depend on artisanal and small-scale mining for sustenance. However, this sector has often been informal, conflict-prone, and environmentally damaging. We're therefore taking bold steps to formalize the small-scale mining sector through initiatives such as the Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program, the Ghana Landscape Restoration and Small-Scale Mining Project. And as the Minister said, there are various initiatives underway. These initiatives aim to provide legal access to land, training, equipment, and shared infrastructure. We also will eliminate the use of mercury and supporting environmentally safe alternatives for mining. Let me be clear at this juncture. Artisanal miners are not enemies of the state. If properly trained and supported, they can be allies in our development. Working together with the small-scale mining sector, we will reclaim our forest reserves and restore the purity of our water bodies. Our river guards are working on clearing mining activities in our water bodies and on the banks of our rivers. We've successfully, as the Minister told you, we have successfully cleared illegal miners out of 8 out of the 9 no-go zone forest reserves. We will track excavators, as the Minister said, in order to know whether they are being used for illegal mining or not. And we intend to change the permitting regime. Ghana has more excavators in this country than in the whole of Africa. We're going to change the permitting regime. You will not be allowed to import an excavator or put it on a ship unless you get a permit before you come in. Mining cannot be sustainable unless it's also responsible. Environmental degradation, water pollution, and community displacement are not inevitable byproducts of mining. They are the consequences of poor governance and enforcement. We're strengthening environmental, social, and governance frameworks across the mining sector. And this will include, like I said, banning toxic chemicals in gold processing, like mercury, mandating site rehabilitation, and so it means that small-scale miners and medium-scale mining must also have rehabilitation clauses in their permits to reclaim the land. Enforcing community development agreements and promoting renewable energy use in our mining sector. Through policy and regulation will ensure that every ounce of gold or gram of lithium mined in Ghana leaves with a positive green footprint. The world is transitioning. The use of fossil fuels is waning, and clean energy is rising. With this comes a surge in demand for critical minerals like lithium, graphite, nickel, and other rare earth minerals. Ghana is ready to play a central role. We're establishing policy, legal, and investment frameworks to explore and develop critical mineral reserves, build refining and battery manufacturing capacity, attract ethical long-term investors, promote local content and technology transfer. In this new global order, our mineral wealth is not just a national asset, by strategic geopolitical resource. The Gold Board, a key plank in my administration strategy to reform the gold mining sector and ensure maximum benefits for Ghanaians from our gold resources, has taken off. In its short existence, it has sanitized the gold sector, ensuring maximum returns from our gold exports. Ghana's gold exports earned the country $2.7 billion. Ghana's gold exports through the PMNC and the Gold Board earned the country $2.7 billion between January and April. And this figure is expected to increase exponentially throughout the year. But the Gold Board is not only about exporting gold. It will soon roll out a track and trace system to ensure that Ghana's gold exports are procured from environmentally sustainable sources. The Gold Board will work to train artisanal and small-scale miners in responsible and sustainable mining practices. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Gold Board, is also soon to launch, in cooperation with the private sector, an ambitious project to reclaim 10,000 hectares of mined-out lands. The Gold Board will also be working towards attaining LBMA certification for Ghana's gold. Excellencies, the future of mining is not national, it is continental. The African Continental Free Trade Area provides us with an unparalleled opportunity to retain value within Africa, establish regional supply chains, create joint refining and research institutions, and strengthen intra-African investment flows. So let us move from competition to collaboration. Ghana is open to partnerships with Guinea on bauxite, with DRC on cobalt, with South Africa on platinum, and all willing nations on mutual beneficiation. For this to succeed, we need governance anchored in transparency and accountability, and my administration is committed to strengthening the Minerals Commission, digitizing licensing and monitoring, publishing mineral revenues and contracts,
We thank you, Honorable Ministers. We thank you, Mr. President, Your Majesty. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause as they take their seats. Please help me appreciate the President of our Republic once again with his thoughtful keynote address. Please, a round of applause. Thank you, Mr. President. The message is very clear. Our resources must work for Ghana, waiting generations, while preserving the land that gives us life. We thank you because under your leadership, Ghana will not just be extracting minerals, we'll be mining opportunities, innovation, and sustainable growth. So this end, I ask that we all rise and acknowledge one more time our host nation, Ghana, as we sing the anthem.
Let's go. Move steadily. Let's go.
Excellency,
how are you? Good. Thank you. How are you? Very good. How are you doing? Sometimes you may not be able to finish up.
And
Oh, yeah, President don't tell who say. On China, what about Konama? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? ABC. My pills getting my pills getting
Sean, I was looking for you. How are you? Find yourself? Everything well? Thank you for last week. So we don't have to have a meeting this year.
I do it there right now.
Yo.
Yeah. I'm sorry, your car is up. What's the trouble? How are you? Thank you. See you. Thank you. I'm waiting for my I'm happy.
Appiah, yes, I want to. Okay.